Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome back to Seed to Play channel for another vlog. Today we did some prep for a freeze that we're gonna have. Now, I don't get triggered by much in the world. I'm a pretty laid back kind of gal. However, after last year, the term winter storm triggered. Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I live in Texas, central Texas, and we had snowpocalypse last year, which was Winter Storm Uri, which was devastating. I'll leave a link down below to the vlog I did that week. That was like my second or third week of vlogging. It was really intense. This winter storm that we're gonna get is like not gonna be as bad. Hopefully I'm not eating my words here in a couple of days, but we're not projected for nearly the temperatures or the amount of like precipitation and snow and sleet. But with that being said, after last year and all of the craziness, I don't really want to count my chickens before they hatch. So we are doing some freeze prep here for the garden today, and I was gonna show you what that was. First things first, we got everything deeply watered. I only have a few things in the ground right now. I have sugar snap peas and some carrots. They haven't really done much because we just haven't had enough sun, but we got that all very deeply watered. Also, I took down all my arches, so those are all gone. And then moved some of the stuff that couldn't go into the garage up against the house. Now what that's going to do is create just a little bit of radiant heat to keep the really bad chill off of the plants. Not tonight, but tomorrow night what I'm going to do is actually wrap non-LED Christmas lights around the rescue lemon tree and cover it with some blankets. It's not gonna actually drop below freezing tonight, but it is going to be very cold. And then the other thing we did was move our cactus and our aloe and all of the citrus and our pencil cactus. We moved all of that stuff into the garage, and I actually have clamp construction lights that I'll be turning on for these for the next 3 days as some supplemental light. It's not necessarily my favorite thing to do. I try to let plants pretty much like tough it out, if you will. I just think it creates a better plant, but also I would rather haul them inside for 3 days than like, you know, risk all of the work I've put into those plants. So just to quickly sum that up for you, deeply water, cover your plants with something like old sheets. If you have trees and other things outside that you're afraid of that are gonna get hurt, use some just Christmas lights. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, Cooper is not pleased about having his space invaded. So that's our plan in terms of the garden to get through this winter storm. In terms of just life, like I said, there might be a little bit of ice, but we're not projected for anything too crazy. We're gonna leave our cabinets open so that the pipes can kind of have some warm air. We did lose water last year. Oh, it was such a disaster, let me tell you that. But we never lost electricity last year. And yeah, like I said, if you want all the down and dirty details, you can go watch that video from last year. But I am excited. I do like a few days of cold weather. I think it's just like cozy, and it's a reason to just cozy up. But the other thing I wanted to make sure I showed you guys, oh my God. Why does getting up off the floor get so much harder when you get older? It's such garbage. Houston, we have seedlings. Oh my God, I'm the happiest. Tomatoes and peppers. Y'all, honestly, the light gets so weird when I put the lights here. It's like a vibrating light across my face. Y'all, honestly, I was messing with one of the tomato seedlings the other day because it had like the seed cap on it wouldn't like pop off. And actually, if you use a little bit of spit, like if you like get some spit and some saliva on your fingers, you can release it. It's kind of gross, but it works. The enzymes in your spit is what kind of like breaks it up without hurting the leaves. Anywho, I had the smell of the tomato plant like on my fingers. Like there's a very specific smell when you're like pruning tomatoes or touching tomato plants. Oh my God. And there's just nothing like it. It just makes me really a happy human being to smell the smell of a tomato seedling. So I'm so pumped. I did sow some flowers. We'll see how well those come up, as well as some herbs. My peppers are popping up. Some of my really hot peppers aren't popping. Oh, see, right when I said it, right when I friggin' said it. Peppers take a little bit longer to germinate. I don't really understand why. I do put mine on heat mats, and I keep the top pretty really I use a spray bottle to spray down the top of my seedlings at least every other day. And I usually get really good germination on my peppers. I did want to show you guys. Ooh. So these little tom-toms, these little tomatoes, I should have put closer to the lights. However, with tomatoes, they're slightly more forgiving because all of those little hairs that you see on that tomato stem, those will actually turn into roots. And so here in a couple of weeks, I will probably separate these tomatoes because there's like some of them have two little seedlings per cell, and I'll just plant them deeper. And I will just plant them more deeply, and it'll be fine. Now peppers, you definitely don't want to get too leggy, but I seem to not have as much issue with peppers getting leggy than I do with tomatoes getting leggy. Now I did a video last year about troubleshooting seedlings, so I'll link that down below, but basically the biggest issues you're going to run into at the beginning of starting seeds is germination and your seeds getting leggy. So when your seeds get leggy is when they get like long and spindly and they kind of like flop over. With tomatoes, it's somewhat fixable just because of their root structure, but get your plants as close to the light as you can. I went over that in my seed starting video. I've gone over that in multiple seed starting videos. That's the biggest thing you have to do at the beginning. The other thing is keep your seedling somewhat moist. I do that with a water bottle. Now, I live in one of the most humid places. I've never had issues with mold. At this stage, I also don't use covers for that reason. So I come through every other day and I spray down the top of my seedlings and I keep the trays pretty full of water, or at least definitely like moist, not at all dry. And like I said, for the peppers, I use heat mats. I don't use heat mats for the tomatoes. I also do them inside. And today I actually turned on the ceiling fan because I noticed some of these seedlings looked just slightly weak in the stem. And so getting them some air so that they just vibrate just a little will really kind of increase the strength of that seedling because the cell walls have to get stronger to actually account for that movement. So that was a lot. But there's definitely a moment, and I was actually telling my partner this the other day, when you're waiting for your seeds to germinate, I don't know if anybody else goes through this, but I have this whole moment of like, wait, am I good at this? Like, can I actually do this? Is this gonna work? Every time, I've been doing this for years, and every time I have this moment of like, so like, I know how to do this, right? Like, they're gonna come up. And then when they do start coming up, I'm like, yes, I do know what I'm doing. Y'all, it's real dumb. It is real dumb, and I'm fully aware of that.
But I still do it, so whatever, it's fine. And the last thing is there will be a video in a couple of weeks on sowing flower seeds. I was with my family this weekend, which was quite lovely because I wasn't able to see them for Christmas, so we did kind of like a Christmas do-over. And I made them dinner and gave them some homemade gifts, and it was quite lovely and just what I needed. Every year I plant my grandma's flowers. She did not really want to do like tulips and daffodils this year. She's just kind of over it. But I planted zinnias for her last year. And I always plant sunflowers for her, and she freaking loved the zinnias. Absolutely loved them. My grandma is 83, 82. One of those. And she's like one of my favorite people in the whole entire world. I'll also link down below the video of her and I planting last year. And she even gave a little tutorial for the YouTubes. So yeah, she's like my favorite human in the whole wide world. I legit call her multiple times a week. So anyways, I took her all of my flower seeds and she wants a little bit of everything. So we, in a couple of weeks, I'll show you how I sow flower seeds, and because we're gonna do a whole like variety tray for grandma, because grandma's gonna live her best dang life this year with all of her flowers, and we will direct sow her sunflowers. So that's all coming up here in the next few months. I'm so excited. There's just so many things to be excited about other than the freeze. I just need us to get to spring with no devastating winter storms. And I'll be a happy camper. So I will show you guys what the weather looks like tomorrow, because today it was 78 degrees and sunny. And by the time we talk tomorrow, it will be like 30-something degrees and very windy and maybe some kind of water coming out of the sky in whatever form it's gonna come down in. So yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow.
You know, sometimes I'm thankful to myself that I kept some of my winter gear from when I lived in Ohio, because it's sleeting. What, you dogs want to hear this noisy drizzle? Come on. Go on, Lana. Lana does not like any form of things that are wet outside. She says, big no. You can do it, girl. You actually have to go potty, so it's been sleeting pretty much all afternoon. I don't think it's actually sticking. I don't know, let's see. I hope it's not, because I just sent my Great Dane out onto it. Okay. It's not actually ice, so that's good. But I have to get all of these beautiful plants covered. They're definitely chilly. It's been hovering right around freezing all day. It hasn't actually gotten below freezing except for the wind chill. Because these plants have been very covered, I have not covered them or put lights on them. But the sun is gonna start going down here soon and they're gonna get cold. So it's time to wrap them up in some Christmas lights and some old sheets and hope for the best. And we haven't decided if we're gonna drip our faucets yet tonight. That was our crucial error last year when Snowpocalypse hit, was not dripping the faucets, and that's what led us to like not have water the whole time. But thankfully, our neighbor had water, so we were able to get fresh drinking water, which was nice. But I was melting snow to water my seedlings and flush the toilets in my house. Also, all of my citrus trees have had some supplemental light all day, so that is good. But thank goodness we are so badly organized, because my Christmas lights that I need to put around my plants are just right here. So here's the thing. I actually lived in Ohio for quite a while, and I moved to Texas because I hated the cold and I hated the snow. So it's just kind of funny that the last 2 years we've had some brutal days in the winter. Ooh, my butt's cold. Okay, Brooke needs to work a little faster here. Alright, we have lights that work. Holy moly, it's cold. Okay. Okay. So cold. It's so cold. Y'all, if you're up north and you're watching this, you probably think I'm 50 shades of dramatic. And I am, because I hate the cold. I don't like being cold. I like living my best lizard life when it's 80, 90 plus degrees, okay? Woo! Okay. Well, the plants are gonna be in this state for the next couple of days because it's going to be cold and disgusting and gross. So next week's vlog, we'll see what all survived. And hopefully it's everything. So, if you're in Texas, have fun with the freeze, stay inside, have a fire, read a book. If you're not in Texas and you're laughing at all of us because we hate the cold, probably deserved. Thanks so much for watching. Happy gardening, and we'll see you next time.